Hi, guys. Welcome to It Was Never Personal, the last episode of the week. You want to talk about the last episode? You want to talk about closing off a season turbo? You want to talk about closing the party cash? Okay. Oh my God. Wow, it was very, very nice. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, week after week. Thank you. You know where to find us at Yummy Wilfred and YouTube. And it was never personal with Yummy Wilfred. I mean, I have platforms on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Yummy Wilfred. And then what else? Please like the page on Facebook. And then there's what else is there? Anyways, yeah, we're closing off, and oh my God, hasn't it been very nice? I loved it. I really, really, really loved it. I don't want to lie. And okay. Anyways, today I'm to talk about, of course, it was never personal. I remember the last episode on season one. It was, oh honey, oh, did you just ask if there's season one? Because there is. How dare you? But anyways, I remember how I closed off season one with a phone home and tell them it was never personal. And then now this is like phone home again and tell them it's still never personal. It was never personal. Where did I get that from? I mean, I wanted something that resonates with me. It was never personal because I have this kind of like, if I don't want to do it, I don't do it. Like I don't do things that I don't want to do. That's what I have as my mantra. But it was never personal. That's my mantra because whatever. I mean, I'm very sensitive, so sensitive. Like I'm like a sponge in water, and then I soak the water up. Like I soak everything. Even in a room, I soak everything up. I tell you. So for me to actually navigate through this life, I realized it was never personal, and that's the way for me. They don't like me, it was never personal. Oh, she likes me still, it's not personal. I deserve it because I am marvelous, I'm worth of love. It was never personal. But listen, these are the things that I will say that it is that personal to me. Love is personal to me, kindness is personal to me. um what else? uh what else? Laughter is personal to me. I love laughter. What is it? What else is personal? Music is personal to me. Dance is personal to me. What else? Colors are personal to me. Breaking it down, really x-ray eyes on the situation is personal to me. Yeah, but other things really, other things. And oh, actually, a bodycon is personal to me. Femininity is personal to me. Masculinity is personal to me. I love them. But other things, it's water of a duck's back. It's not personal. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Remember the deep, right? Don't engage, don't defend, don't explain, and don't personalize. It was never personal. It was never personal. But I take kindness personal, love personal, and laughter personal. Other things, it's water of a duck's back. Whatever they say, it's not personal. Life is a state of mind. It is what you make it to be. It's not deep, it's not personal. It's not what you think it's not what you think. Okay, it's not what they've made you to think it is. It is actually what you think for it to be. Yeah, that's life for me. It's not personal. And then what else can I talk about? I mean, I've talked about how, this thing of it was never personal. It goes, it's like an umbrella word for many things. Because again, like right now, this mic is solid. We look like we're solid objects. Solid objects, right? They are moving at high terrific speeds. But is it really solid? No, it's not solid. It's just that it's so yeah. It's like that. Okay. So it's not really personal on every level. It's not personal. Forget it's not personal. Go out there and have fun and just know that it was never personal. That's what you're here to do, actually, to have fun and love yourself and learn the lessons and go. Boop. It was never like personal. And all the lessons actually, it was never personal is always there in each and every lesson in life, because we go to therapy because of people who were wounded, people who said things that had nothing to do with us. It was never personal, it's like, oh my God, it was never personal. Yes. So I really just, it's just like that. I really love this mantra. It was never personal. Note to self, it was never personal. It's like reading the comments on YouTube or whatever. It has nothing to do with you, really. It was never personal. I've been saying it was never personal forever, forever, forever. But I just want to say it. I'm repeating the things that I want you to really get going on. It was never personal. I've talked about a lot of things, your inner child, who thinks that it's personal, but it was never personally. It was never personal. And then now listen, everyone, this is the thing that I feel like everyone has to hear. For you, maybe you will get it personally because you do get things personal. Everyone doesn't have to like you, and you don't have to like everybody. That's it. And it's not personal. This is not from a place of anger or self-loathing or whatever. It is what it is. It's just like that. Everyone doesn't have to like me, and I don't have to like everybody. That's it. And it doesn't mean that I have to. And this means that it's not like I go around saying, oh, if I meet someone that I don't like, I go, I don't like you. No. Now, there you know that you took it personal. Thank you. Because if you know that it free, for me, I love that thing, because that statement, because it frees me. It frees me from defending myself. It frees me from engaging. It frees me from allowing myself to explain myself to other people who don't like me or who have something against me, when actually it's not that deep. It allows me to not take it personal, because it was never personal. It has nothing to do with me, and it's okay. That's it. It was never personal. Not everyone has to like you, and you don't have to like everybody. But just come and don't involve your ego in it. Don't let your ego take the driver's seat. You take the driver's seat and let your ego take the passenger seat, because, like I said, the ego, the dark passenger, it's never going anywhere, honey. It's always going to be there. That self-talk is always going to be there. But you're also there, you as the experiencer, you as the awareness of your thoughts, you as the witness of your ego, you are there to actually go, ting, honey, it was never personal. It was never personal. It was never personal. Thanks for sharing, but it was never personal. Oh, you remember when he said this? Oh, thank you for sharing. It was never personal. Hey, last I hear that he was gossiping about. Oh, honey, remember. Thank you for sharing. It was never personal. It's just a reminder. You have to keep on. It's a daily practice. It's a day in and day out. It's a sec by sec. And sometimes it's like you have to really stick with it and go, oh my God, it was never personal. I know, because your ego wants to personalize it. By your ego, what do I mean? Ego is any identification you have with any form, objects, possession, how people look at you, the image you have. Excuse me, the image you have of yourself, your thoughts, which is basically your thoughts. All forms go back to thoughts, because thoughts are just we then extend our thoughts and beliefs into things. You think if you have an iPhone, then you are expensive or whatever. Are you really wealthy? No, you're not. You think that if you're driving a Ferrari, it means that you are cool. You think that if you get a D, it means you're not worth it. Oh, are you not worth it? No. You think that because you have a 4.8 CGPA that you are the shit. I mean, you are, yes, the shit in terms of like, but are you really the shit? No, honey, you're not the shit. So it's not personal. Your ego is an identification you've created with thought, with a belief. A belief is a thought. You know what I mean? So that's your ego. And it's always there. It's always going to be there. That self-talk, which is mostly negative, is going to be there. But you can tame it. You can tame it and always remind it, this is what I'm choosing right now. Because it always happens right now. But this is the thing about the ego. Your ego or your thoughts, your mind doesn't have power in this moment. In this moment, it only has power in the past and the future, because it likes predicting things. It in this moment it's uncertain, it doesn't know anything, it's uncertainty. So it fears uncertainty, the unknown, but you can actually stay in this moment, and the ego feels inferior. It feels inferior in all cases. It feels inferior, and it will feel inferior by either being the perpetrator, and it still feels inferior even though it is the perpetrator, whereby people bomb you or try and trash you because using their power, they are trying, they feel inferior, just that they are like, oh, I'm superior over you, because they think that when they bring you down they're actually superior, but it's just a form of um inferiority, because if you're safe with yourself, you'll know that you don't have to try and make other people scared or whatever. You want people to feel safe, whatever that you're doing is an extension of your inner world, you know what I mean? If you hate people, it's because you hate yourself, by the way. If you feel unsafe around people, it's, are you safe with yourself? Check yourself. Oh, the calls are always coming from the house, by the way. They're always coming from the house. The calls are always coming from the house. So you have to really be mindful of that. And then again, the ego is inferior even if it's a victim. But then the victimization thing, which everybody's so obsessed with, everybody wants to become a victim. It's just that they feel inferior. And then they know that, they think that now, okay, if I'm a victim, then I can get superior because I'm self-righteous. I'm right in the situation, so I feel superior about it. It's like how people come over to gossip about another person. They feel they feel superior about it, because it's like, I know something that you don't know. Let me tell you something about her that you don't know. So I know something. I'm right over here. I'm above you. I'm superior. When in fact, they feel inferior. They feel inspired by someone and they try and say something. It's like, oh my God, they feel inferior. And again, it's just that. It's just that the ego feels inferior in any case. It feels under attack. It feels like it needs to defend itself. It feels like it needs to engage, because for it to defend itself, it has to engage into it, and then it has to what? It has to explain, like, oh no, you think you said, oh, this, like, that's the ego. You're trying to really protect itself, because it's always in a state of fear. It's always in a state of fear. And then again, it takes everything personal, because it believes that it's true. It believes that it's thought, but you're not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. If anything, you are the awareness of your thoughts. You're an extension of the power that created the world, honey. So take that. You are God. You are God. Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Most people don't handle it. They cannot handle it, because it takes, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's a work in, work out, what day in, day out kind of work thing. You know what I mean? Yes. And then this is the other thing. The ego will always validate situations that it resonates with, because that's how it is. That's how it is. Wonder why you've been attracted to the same boys. That's how you feel. That's who you think you are. But it was never personal. Let it go. Let it go. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness of your thoughts. That is where actually, ultimately, it was never personal becomes personal. You are not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You are the awareness of your thoughts. Now that is, you are the awareness of your thoughts. I don't know if you really understand it, because people don't get it. I don't know why people don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know what it's going to take. But eventually life will get you there, all roads lead back home. All roads lead back home. Whether you do it nasty, whatever, but you will come back and you'll go, oh my God, it was never personal, So just know that it was never personal. And try and go x-ray eyes on the situation, because not everything is most of the things are not what you think it is, actually. Most of the things are not what you think it is, because especially when we actually operate 95% of the time, the day, we operate from a subconscious mind, which is actually full of trash. which is full of garbage, and we just operate with it. People say things, and we feel the need to get we're hurt by a lot of things because we take it personal. It's really personal down there, but it was never personal, and that's the truth. So this is really a great concept for me. I remember how when I realized that I've been imbuing people, my teachers, my friends, my sister, my family members, my brothers. I imbued people with my own emotional consciousness. They will do something and then I'll judge them through my own emotional consciousness. For example, I know that if somebody says hi to me, I'll say hi back to them. I know that I'm sweet, I'm sweet and I'm kind by nature. So I cannot really say, I cannot lie about a person just because, So if I learn that somebody does that, I just get it, it kind of like haunts me. It goes, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I just don't understand it. And then because I don't understand it, I then personalize it because I judge them through my own eyes, and then I go, that's so horrible, that's so horrific, that's so dark. I just judge them, and then I take it personal because I've imbued them with my own emotional consciousness. Like, how could you do that? How could she say that? How could she say I killed her child? Like how does that come about? I didn't block you. I didn't do that. I don't hate you. Like, why would you say that? Why would you, like, where do you get it's, you see, and that whenever I imbue someone with my own emotional consciousness, I step into the darkness. I stare into it, and I become it. It sucks me in, So be careful because we imbue each other with our own emotional consciousness in situations that really never had anything to do with us. We just do that. But I get it. But it was never personal. I get it because it's something which we learned, it's the conditioning. Because when you really look at it, it's like, well, they say that because people are bored, people want attention, people want to be seen, so they will do anything. They will do anything. But really, when you go X-ray eyes on the situation, they never really meant it. You were never there. They are hurt. They are hurt. It's a call for love. It's a call for love. It's a call for love. And I love them. And I forgive them. I let them go. That's what I always have to sing in my head. I let them go. It was never personal. You know, they say they don't like me. Honey, they don't like themselves. And it's okay. Again, like I said, everyone doesn't have to like me, and I don't have to like everyone. And I forgive. This is the thing about me. As soon as I think I was about 18 when I realized I don't have an enemy. I don't have an enemy because the ego wants to have an enemy. The ego wants to have an enemy. An enemy means the other, someone like right now, I'm into my things of like, okay, um, this is what I do. And if you do something, if I was attached to my ego, if I was really identified and going with my ego, then anyone who doesn't believe that it was never personal would have been my enemy. But then I'm like, no, it was never personal. They don't believe in it was never personal, but it was never personal. The truth is that the truth doesn't need to be defended. The truth doesn't need to be explained. The truth doesn't need to be engaged on with, and the truth doesn't need to be taken personally because it is, and that is it. It is. So it was never personal. So I don't have any people who don't believe whatever that I'm saying. I believe it for myself, and that's where it ends. I don't care what you believe in. I'm just sharing what I think. What has been working for me. That's what I believe in. And you talk about, but this, it doesn't make sense, and it will never make sense in the mind. It will never make sense in the mind because our mind is so, it doesn't make sense over there, but it does over here. It does over here, and it's for me. It was never personal, so I will not imbue you. I will not imbue and impede and try and pin my beliefs on someone else forcefully. No, It's like how if I'm a Buddhist, I don't think that Christians are wrong, but religions thrive like that. It's like my God is not your God, and like, yeah, but because the ego needs the other, for it to be wrong, for it to be able to defend and explain and engage and actually show you that, oh honey, you are wrong, like I'm right over here. And there's so much self-righteousness nowadays. You cannot even say something which is like irreverent, because people will just say, what do yeah, the ego needs enemies. But I realize that I don't have enemies. Like I don't have. I try. And sometimes, and when I say I try, I mean my ego really tries to really have an enemy. But this is that I don't, because each moment whenever I try, my inner child tries to take things personal and tries to identify with the ego. I go, honey, it's never personal, and we break it down, we deal with it, and then I go, oh, it had nothing to do with me. Oh my God, they're in so much pain, they need my love. And I bless people with love, and I let them go, and I release them, and I let them be, and I forgive them with love. I forgive them, I let it go, I go, oof, oh, they forgot who they are, and I'm not going to fall asleep to who I am. It's okay. It's painful. It's painful. Trust me. And I feel my emotions. But that's all that I have to do with me, because I don't have, oh, I cannot think for another person, and I cannot decide what's true for another person. We all have control over what we think is true. We all have control over what we want to do and everything. And we all have control on what, if we want to really love ourselves. And I love myself. That's why I say it was never personal. It was never personal. It has nothing to do with me. So I don't have enemies, and I love it. I love it because I don't sit down and go and perpetuate. I never think about someone who's actually after me, and there's no devil in my mind. There's nothing running after me to get me, and there's no devil. I loved it when Kendrick Lamar said, "Some blame it on the devil, and I blame it on my ego." So if anything, I blame it on my ego. I know that I am the devil. At the same time as I am God, I'm the devil, because it's all in me, it's all in here, so but I choose my glass is half full, it's half full. I don't choose the devil. The devil is my ego, and I know that I'm the only one who's going to bring me down. I'm my biggest enemy. That is what is actually that, the saying that you're your biggest enemy. That's it, honey. Now clock that. Because I don't, it's a freeing concept to me. It gives me life. It makes me feel free, because now I don't spend time thinking. Like I never ruminate around anybody, to be honest. I don't want to lie. I don't. I don't ruminate around people. Even if I don't have time for that, because I break it down. I mean, it used to be hard, because the only person who I ever gave that who I worked so hard to really let go was my sister. But recently, and I mean really relatively, I don't go to bed thinking about people. I don't, because I know that no one is after me. I know I'm the one who's actually in control over here. And I'm not willing to, because the moment I think of other people, I'm giving them power over my life, which is something that I don't want to do. So I always think about really me, like what am I doing, where am I stuck, who am I blaming, this, what do I need to do, where am I still lacking love, in which areas do I need to love more, do I have to express more, do I have to open up, do I have to be vulnerable, do I have to realize that it was never personal. Where did I make it personal? Where did I make it personal? And it's a day in day out kind of thing, to be honest with you. To be honest, being honest, they're not honest. But anyways, and then realizing the only validation that I need is from myself to my inner child is the best, has been the best thing. Because I used to be a people pleaser, by the way. I used to please people. Although I was selective because I pleased teachers, lecturers, not really about lecturers, because when I got there, I really had my shit together. And I'm so grateful for that, because if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't be here. I know that, and I cannot wait to step into my successful zone ever. And but like I'm saying, I used to please teachers, my parents, especially my family members, because I wanted to uphold this idea that they have of me, which mostly had nothing to do with whatever that I really want to do, So it was like pleasing them, giving them whatever that they wanted, because I had to learn on early on. I had to learn how to read people and what they need and give them what they need in each situation, But now I do what I want, and if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it. And the only validation that I need is from myself to my little inner child, And I remember how when my mom was moving over to her house, to the new house, um, if I was still identified with my inner child's thoughts back in the days, I would have helped her move everything. I would have worked so hard, to please her and say, "Oh yeah, let's do this." I mean, and the fun part is it's nice, yes, and you love it, and you get to connect with your mom because you feel the love and everything. But really, extra eyes on the situation. I didn't want to do that. I helped where I helped. I was like, okay, let's move these things. I just did I helped where I helped, and then my time to go and bath and sleep was up, and then I bathed and I slept, and it was fine, and I didn't. It wasn't out of like a malicious act, And when my sister asked me if I want to do something for her, like maybe do the dishes or whatever, or cook, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, and it's just that. It doesn't mean that I hate you or I'm disrespectful. No, I don't want to do. If I want to do it, I'll do it. It'll come from my heart. I will do it with love. I don't want to be resentful at the end of the day. I don't want to cause sickness for myself. I don't want to be resentful towards you through. I don't want to be resentful towards myself through you. I don't want to do that. Do you want to help me with this? Oh no, I don't want to do it. No, learning to say no, the biggest thing ever, because it was never personal. It was never personal. It doesn't mean that I hate you or I don't want to be around you or whatever. I need my alone time. Please give me space. It was never personal. It doesn't mean that, nah, it doesn't mean that. You know, it's just that I want to spend time alone. I just want to do my thing. I just want to give myself some attention. It doesn't have actually anything to do with you. I don't even know why I'm trying to explain it to you. Thank you. And then, why do we take life too seriously? Because we think it was personal. We think it was personal. Try and define success. Success is what you make it to be. It's really personal. Success is personal, by the way. It's everyone. It's what is success to you. And then when I say it's personal, I mean it is what you make it to be. Like, what do you really want for yourself? And when you ask a lot of people, what do you want? They will tell you first what they don't want. And then I'm like, but I was like, what do you want? You're just telling me what you don't want, which shows that you don't know what you really want, excuse me, which means that you don't know what you really want. You are here trying to please a lot of people, but what do you really want? Oh, you think you want a big house? You think you want to own 100? I know. You think you want to make money? Oh, no, that's not success. That's definitely not success. You think you want power? That's not it. That's not success. You think you want cars, and they're like those are just extra, those are bonuses, those are things that you just have fun with, those are toys. Thank you. Those are just leverages. They're not success. They are not success. To me, success is freedom, it's joy, it's like, to me, I know that if I have my house very far away from the city, by the way, in a farm, and I can wake up in the morning, water my plants, read a book, as the sun is rising, have a cup of tea, get to sleep very early, like I sleep at 8 p.m. And I'm still, the success to me is the things that I'm doing over right now, and I'm still improving on, like the way that I live my life right now. That is success to me. That is success to me. The only thing that's, yeah, a little bit of money wouldn't hurt. Thank you. I'm just waiting for my success. I'm working on loving myself, and that is success for me, and I'm just waiting for my bonuses, A little bit of money wouldn't hurt, a little bit of oh, and being loved by someone, allowing myself to be loved by someone. That is success to me. Love is success. Thank you. Not like I have to actually, I'm not needy. I'm not needy of love, because I know that I have to fill my cup and let it overflow with love, and then love will come to me. I attract what I am. Clock that. Anyways, before we before we close, I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in the entire season, for liking. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everything. Thank you. It was never personal with Yummy Walfred. See you when I see you, but call home, tell them it was never personal. It never did get personal with me. I love you. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm so grateful for this, and it has been a very, very, very exciting season. Loved it all the way out. Now let me see. What can I do before I go? I don't even know. Oh, let me give the audiences and this one and the audio something. It was never personal. It's the first time I've ever realized it that it sounds like that. But anyways, it was never personal. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I bless you. I give you love, and stay well. Stay loving yourself. Remember your inner child. Bye.